Ladies and gentlemen, well, looks like there is more drama right now at Manchester City, so let's talk about it, shall we here? That's right, because allegedly Manchester City have been charged by the Premier League with numerous breaches of financial rules following a four-year investigation, according to Martin Ziegler on Twitter. And this is what it says here. I'm going to read the statement. In respect of each of seasons 2009-10 to 2007-18, the Premier League rules applicable in those seasons that require provision by a member club to the Premier League in the utmost good faith of accurate financial information that gives a true and fair view of the club's financial position, in particular with respect to its revenue, including sponsorship revenue, its related parties, and its operating costs, namely from 2009-10 to 2007-18 season. So I'm not going to read all of that here, but I'm going to post a link to the tweet and all that stuff so you guys can read it for yourselves, because I don't feel like reading all that stuff here in this video. But I thought I would share my honest opinion of it, because obviously with Manchester City, one thing that I've noticed about Manchester City is that from 2009 up until now, I guess, because back in 2009, their the income they generated was only like, what, 22 million something, and now they're generating 300 million. So that is, of course, is absolutely crazy to see a club just go from being a club that seemed like it was very, I guess, very broke, to being one of the richest clubs in the world right now. Basically, in other words, Manchester City, they've, let's just say, gotten really good at figuring out how to increase their revenue this past decade, I guess you could say, these past more like I'd say 14 years and all that. But right now with Manchester City, I wonder if they're going to be in the same situation that Juventus are. Basically, in other words, are they also going to receive any points deduction, or no, like how Juventus did? Because I guess Juventus have been involved in a similar thing to Manchester City, only the difference is Manchester City, I'm assuming that they might have been doing this longer than Juventus have. Don't take my word for it though, but I'm just giving a speculation of this. But obviously, Manchester City, from the time Pep came to the team, they've been dominating the Premier League, and I guess you could say some people have been questioning Manchester City's dominance in the Premier League, whether they truly play by the rules or whether they always find a way how to bend the rules and all that stuff regarding financial fair play. Even though, as an American myself, I am still trying to wrap my head around this financial fair play thing. But I imagine it's something to do with them, I don't know, maybe falsely reporting their revenue or something, I don't know, underreporting it, or just withholding information that they should be reporting, basically withholding revenue information, transactions, and all that stuff. So, obviously I'm not qualified to talk about this because I'm not like a financial analyst or a financial expert. But what I will say though is that it's not looking good for Manchester City, and I wonder what's really going to happen here. Are they just going to get a slap on the wrist? Because obviously with all that money that Manchester City have, I imagine that they have, like, they can afford all the top 1% lawyers, like the really, really good experienced lawyers regarding this stuff. But some reports have been saying that this time their lawyers won't be able to bail them out, and that they could directly be punished for I guess violating financial fair play, something like that. And I wonder, like, what does this mean? Like, because I imagine that if City are going to be deducted points, then that's just going to change the whole Premier League title race for this season drastically. Or are they just going to get a small fine and life will just continue? Well, the way how I imagine this is going to happen is that I imagine that, they most likely will just get a slap on the wrist, because let's be honest here, with the money they have, they can afford all the good lawyers. And I imagine that, they will just probably just either get fined behind doors or something, or they're really just going to get a slap on the wrist behind closed doors that maybe we won't even know about. In other words, meaning that they're not going to be, punished in terms of points being deducted, unless, of course, that gets released to the public and all that stuff. But obviously, people have always been questioning Manchester City's, rise in the Premier League, whether they truly played by the rules or whether they really just found out a way how to bend the rules for so long and, just gotten away with it. But I mean, I don't know how this is really going to pan out. But all I know is right now is that they released a club statement saying that they are shocked by, that's what City have released on their Twitter page. And I personally am strongly having a feeling that most likely nothing will be done. It's just they're probably just going to just get us fined for it, and then life will just continue to go on and all that stuff. Because obviously, I mean, I don't know how many points, because it's like if they choose to deduct Man City points, then I imagine they could be deducted somewhere between most likely 15 points. That's what I think is going to happen, much like similarly at Juventus and all that. But I mean, with City, I think that they obviously will find a way how to fight this, even though, it says that they could be legally screwed in reports. I imagine that City will find a way how to, I guess, finesse their way out of it, and, nothing will happen, and maybe they won't be deducted points at all. I don't know, but let me know what y'all think about it, man. That's pretty much all I have to say about this topic, so I really have nothing much else to talk about this or add to this topic, because I just feel like I already said what I said, so see ya.